What's the crack, everybody, and welcome to my video where I will be getting the platinum trophy for Fallout 4. And we're going to start this video by getting interrupted by a salesman. I'm surprised he didn't interrupt while I was in the shower. But anyways, after talking to him, he tells us that somehow we've gained an entry into the vault that saves us. And not a moment too soon, because the bombs are dropping. And we have a very relaxing cryogenic sleep for about 200 years. It would give you such a crick in the neck. Our wife decides that she doesn't want to come out, so she's going to stay behind while we go off and explore and find her son. And the first trophy I got was Future Retro, which you get for playing a video game in a video game. And is it just me, or does the trophy's name actually sound like a cool band name? And once I emerged from the vault, I was granted my next trophy, and it was called War Never Changes. You hear that a lot throughout this game. We decided to return home, and who did we find but the good old Cogsworth himself, and he decides to point us in a direction that would help. And while on the way, we get to meet, in my opinion, the best companion in the game and the goodest of boys, Dogmeat. And while we're on the subject of meeting people, the group we meet next are called the Minutemen. They ask us for a bit of help and we give it to them. And they decide to live where we used to live. And once we were done helping them, I unlocked a new trophy called When Freedom Calls. One of the best features in this game was building, and it's so much fun to do. You can build an array of different type of shite. If you haven't played this game, I recommend you go do this now before we get any further into the video. But then come back and watch this video. While fighting someone that's on the sunbeds too much, I managed to get my next trophy, called Born Survivor, which you get for reaching level 5. I then come across a group that calls themselves the Brotherhood and takes military stuff. It looks like I showed up just in the nick of time to help them fight off all the ghouls. And the next place I went to was Diamond City, looking for a detective. I then find and rescue this detective, and in return he's going to help us find our son. He actually turns out to be a synth, and synths are made in a place called the Institute. Sometimes you just see things and you really just can't explain them. While on the hunt for a serial killer, I managed to get my next trophy, which was Commonwealth Citizen, which you get for reaching level 10. After dealing with Kellogg, we have a little powwow with Nick, and he points us in another direction that could help us find our son, and I'm granted a new trophy called Reunions. And as soon as we're through the doors of a new settlement, we get a very warm welcome from the community and their mayor. I was then granted another trophy called Dangerous Minds, and this was after Dr. and Mary helped us find where our son Shaun could be. And we also find out that Kellogg had a very sad backstory. He was still an asshole though. It's then time to hit the road again, and I find Nick waiting upstairs for me, and he shows me his skill of being a very good impersonator of people. I then meet the man that looks like a Tesco version of the Hulk, and he's the one who's going to help us get into the Institute. He tells us that we have to go and hunt down a wannabe Terminator. So that's exactly what I did, and after gunning down this wannabe Terminator, I got the next trophy, which was called Hunter/Hunted. And after that, I wanted to get the help of the Minutemen to help me get into the Institute. And I got the next trophy right here, the first steps, which was for joining the Minutemen. With joining the Minutemen, you actually get to help a lot of people and settlements. Preston never stops giving you quests to do for them. And after you help these people, they're willing to join the Minutemen. And after convincing 3 settlers to ally with us, I got the trophy Community Organizer. This would be one hell of a conversation to sit in and listen to at like some community meetings. After finding and taking out your ex-girlfriend, I got the next trophy, Taking Independence, which is for taking back the Minutemen Castle, or fort, or whatever it was. After taking over the castle, we are then introduced to one of the veterans of the Minutemen, a person called Ronnie Shaw, and she comes out of retirement just to boss us around. Then go and try to report her to Preston, but I just end up getting a trophy called Old Guns instead. Preston just ignores me because now we have artillery fire. Head off out exploring and dealing with super mutants, I got the next trophy called Scaver, which is got for picking up 1,000 resources for crafting, after gathering everything the Minutemen needs to send us to the Institute. And once there, I unlocked the next trophy, called the Molecular Level. A 200-year-old man managed to figure out a way into the Institute. We then run into an old man named Father, who happens to be the leader of the Institute. He gives us a few tasks to do, like meeting the heads of different divisions. After meeting all the department heads and being talked down to an awful lot, I got the next trophy, Institutionalized. That there is the face of a man who's about to kill someone. Father gave me another task to go collect synths that have ran away. Who's this guy think he is? The next trophy I got was called Mankind Redefined, which is after meeting with all the group heads and giving Father the news of collecting the synths. While on another errand for Father, and once again, who does he think he is? We are attacked by the Brotherhood of Steel. After dealing with the Brotherhood, I returned to the Institute for a meeting with the Eggheads to let them know that the job was done, and I got a new trophy called Powering Up. The Institute at this point are gone very bloodthirsty, and they've used me to get rid of their biggest enemy, the Railroad. Unstoppable Warrior was the next trophy I got, and this is a simple trophy of just reaching level 25 in the game. The Institute then decides to be the biggest bully in the game and take away Brotherhood of Steel's toy by uploading a virus to it, and I also take out their leader, Elder Maxon, who's just randomly appeared. We then took Father in, and he goes for a little nap. So once I was away from Father, and after wishing wishing him a good night's sleep, I got the next trophy, which was called Nuclear Family. And then that unlocked another trophy for me called the Fate of the Commonwealth. And we're not done yet because there's different paths. So I'm going to rewind time and you're going to see a different path. And in this alternate timeline, I've decided to get the help of the railroad, but they don't trust me, so I have to run a few missions with them first. And the next trophy I managed to acquire was called Tradecraft. I got this trophy for accepting the railroad's offer of joining them. Looks like doing all those missions paid off. They dropped stuff off in mailboxes. What would they do if someone just happened along this and took it? I come across a group of super mutant athletes, and one of them makes an explosive run at me, giving me the trophy Touchdown. I don't think that super mutant has what it takes to make the big leagues. While out exploring, I actually managed to get another trophy called Ranger Corps, and you get this for discovering 100 places. And once again, I build a heap of shite, but this time it's with the railroad, and I get into the institute, and everything pretty much plays out the same up until I meet this man here, who's going to be the inside man for the railroad to get all the sins out of the institute. While breaking into this safe, I managed to unlock the next trophy, and it's called What's Yours Is Mine, and it's for picking 50 locks. The next trophy I managed to acquire was called Underground Undercover, and how I got this trophy is doing a few missions with the fast traveling then to Desdemona to let her know that the Buzz Lightyears are on their way to try and annihilate them, but I end up pulling an Uno reverse on them. The railroad then decide they want revenge on the Brotherhood of Steel for all the damage they did to them, so they send me onto the Pridwin to sabotage it. As I'm flying away from the Pridwin then, I get to see all the damage I did to make it go kaboom. And once that was done and I returned to Desdemona to tell her all about it, I got the next trophy called Red Rocket's Glare, and I get an attaboy. Then the railroad and myself take the fight to the Institute to free all the Commonwealth and all the sins of the Institute's influence. Once all the muscle of the Institute is taken care of, then we decide to give it a big blowout, just to make sure absolutely nobody escaped the Institute alive. And then after a quick chat with Desdemona, I unlocked the next trophy called the Nuclear Option. And now there's one more path to go down, and that's the Brotherhood one. We're going to one more alternative timeline, and this is where we're going to start, reporting to Lieutenant Dance. And this is where he tells us that we can actually join his pretend army, and we can even get our own Buzz Lightyear costume. I do agree to join, which gives me the next trophy, Emperor Invicta. Oh Jesus Christ, I butchered that name. I have absolutely no idea if I pronounced that right. I then got to meet the leader of the Brotherhood of Steel, who I can only describe as one of the angriest men I think I've ever seen in the Commonwealth. And for the final time of me saying this, I get the help of the Brotherhood of Steel to get into the Institute. And everything's the exact same up until I meet the department heads, and the Brotherhood of Steel have asked me to get back one of their old employees because they don't like to share. And while I was away recruiting for the Brotherhood of Steel, Dance decided to go AWOL, and the Brotherhood of Steel wanted me to tell him that he can't come back because he ended up hurting their feelings. No. All because Dance was pretending he was something he wasn't. Once I was done with that, I unlocked the next trophy called Blind Betrayal. And with Dance being gone, the trophy's not the only thing I got here. I also got a promotion in the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood then gave me another task to do, and that is to take out the railroad. Think with all their precautions and paranoia that they would have saw me coming. And once I'm done with the railroad favor, we move on to getting power for the Brotherhood of Steel's big toy. And as I'm getting the battery for the big toy, I get attacked by the Institute. But this time I have the Buzz Lightyear clones with me, so they're absolutely no problem. And after securing the battery and making my way back to the Brotherhood of Steel, they gave me the privilege of bringing the big fella to life by pressing the big shiny red button. The next trophy I got was called Ad Victoriam, and you get this for wiping out the railroad and for wiping out the Institute. And once again, I get to press the big shiny red button to absolutely obliterate anyone left in the Institute. The next trophy I got was called Never Go At It Alone, which is recruiting 5 companions. But I quickly dismiss this one and get Nick back. And speaking of Nick, he decides to have a conversation with me here because he's decided to finally open up because he trusts me that much. And the conversation Nick wants to talk about is all the memories he has in his head of his past life, or the guy who gave his memories past life. The next trophy I got was called Gun for Hire, and you get this for completing 10 side quests. And this randomly popped after I woke up at the trek. And this next trophy I got was called Animal Control, which you get for unaliving 300 animals. I don't know why it popped on a ghoul, but it did. While in the spirit on unaliving things, I managed to get the next trophy called Masshole, which is for unaliving 300 people. I can honestly say I've never been called that before. This next trophy I got was called Prince Not Dead, and you get this for collecting 20 magazines that are scattered throughout the world. Do any of you collect comic books? Let me know in the comments. Me and Nick become besties while traveling throughout the wasteland, so he asked me for help of collecting holotapes. After finding those 10 holotapes, Nick and I get led to a man called Winter. After him or Nick done hashing things out, I finally get another trophy called Lovable, which you get for having a max level relationship with one of the companions that come with you. And just ignore the picture up the top right. For this next trophy, I had to go around and collect bobbleheads. You have to do a lot of exploring to find these things because they are just all throughout the world. And after collecting 10, I got the trophy They're Not Dolls. And in case you didn't know, bobbleheads give you 1+ stat depending on which one you pick up. The next trophy I managed to unlock was called Prankster's Return. And how you get the trophy is by placing a grenade or a mine on someone while you're pickpocketing them. There's a perk you need to get to do this, and I didn't know that. So when I placed it on someone in Sanctuary, they were not happy. The next trophy I managed to acquire here was called their action figures, and you get this trophy for collecting 20 bobbleheads throughout the Commonwealth. Definitely worth the effort though. While out exploring, I managed to find the Vault-Tec guy that gave me the insurance in the first place. And apparently this guy is a very good vendor to have. I wanted to make Sanctuary a bit more homey, so I decided to make a few things, and while making these few things, I got the trophy Fixer Upper, which you get for crafting 100 workshop items. So there's a mini game here where you have to hack a terminal, and after hacking this one, I managed to acquire my next trophy, Robo Co's Worst Nightmare, and this is acquired by hacking 100 terminals. So throughout Fallout, there's these mutated massive creatures called behemoths, and for the trophy Harder They Fall, you have to unalive 5 of them, which I did right here. While back in Diamond City, I figured I might as well get the next trophy here, and it's for rounding all the bases around Diamond City. And once I go around the last base, I get the trophy Home Run. As soon as I got the trophy, I decided to celebrate a little bit, like a real baseball player would do. And the next trophy I managed to bag was called Armed and Dangerous, and the way you get this is by crafting 50 gun mods, or just taking on and off a muzzle that's already on your gun. Mama Murphy asked me to build her a special chair, so I did, and after that, she kind of just disappeared, until one day I just looked up and there she was. While I was in the middle of crafting, I actually managed to snag another trophy called Legend of the Wasteland, which you get for reaching level 50 in Fallout. While still crafting, I actually managed to unlock another trophy called Wasteland DIY, and to get this trophy, all you have to do is craft 100 items. The next trophy I managed to bag was called Sanctuary, and you get this for making Sanctuary completely safe with water, food, and security. While off exploring, I managed to get my next trophy, which is called Mercenary, which you get for doing 50 misc objectives. And I got this trophy while collecting a bounty on a bunch of ghouls. And this right here has to be single-handedly the best thing in the game. I'm not gonna lie, this trophy was a bit annoying to get, and it was called Benevolent Leader. The way you acquire this is by getting 100 happiness in one of your settlements. And then finally, the Platinum Trophy popped. No better place for it to pop than shooting some raiders. And that's it guys, this is the end of the video. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I also hope to see you in the next one. And goodbye.